Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're reviewing a Mini Cooper Countryman John Cooper Works. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Mini of Murray for giving me some time with this Countryman. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 24 around town and then 30 on the highway with power outputs being 301 horsepower and then 331 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see how it's kind of like raised there around the lights. I think that looks really cool. And you got the blacked out Mini badge. And of course you have the headlights that basically have the hood go over them, which is a cool little feature. There's obviously cutouts for them. And then notice how you've got some blacked out trim pieces down below. And then of course John Cooper Works there in the grille. And putting it all together, let me know you guys think about the looks here on the front end of this. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 225, 45, 19 in the front and over in the rear. And when it comes to the wheel design, you got the silver on the top. Notice how it's blacked out in the center. And then I love how you've got the John Cooper Works logo there in the center and then also on the brake caliper as well. And then you got these really cool looking fender flares. Notice again, another John Cooper Works logo, all 4 badge. And then I like how you've got the darker trim here at the bottom. And then same thing with the door handles, how those are blacked out. And I like how the chrome trim wraps around. That's a really cool design detail. And then here's your full side view with the John Cooper Works Mini Cooper. And now taking a look at the key fob, we have our lock and unlock function. We also have the opening for the hatch as well, and Mini logo on the back. Now taking a look at the cargo area, you guys can see we've got the cover here in the back, and I like the actual design here and the stitching on the outside. I think that looks really cool. And then underneath, you can see more storage as well. But yeah, decent cargo space for, again, the size of the car that this is. And then with the hatch, it's automatic, so just press that button and then I'll close it back up. Got the British flag here on the back here, and then notice again with all of the rest of the badges. And then you got your exhaust tips there at the bottom, and I love this trim piece there that's all blacked out. And putting it all together, let me know what you guys think about the looks, but I still think the Countryman is my favorite Mini Cooper. I know, sacrilege, but I just like how this thing looks. Now taking a look at the door panel, you guys can see soft touch here, and then look at this trim that goes across. And you got more soft touch here as well for those of you wondering. And then I like the door handles here in the Mini Coopers as well. And then notice the nice finish there on the window control. And then taking a look at the seats, really cool cross-stitch design. Look at the piping and everything as well. And then legroom back here is really good. We also have a little storage pocket, got some vents here in the center, USBs as well. And then headroom back here is really good. Also, we have a sunroof in the back. That's fun. And now taking a look at the front door panel, again, soft touch here, and then you can see the darker trim, and then again, soft touch with that portion as well. And then I love the look of the mirrors here. Anyways, all of our window controls there on the side. Also the power folding mirror function on top of that. And then again, look at the front seat here with the design. That's interesting, even like on part of the bolster with the quilted design. Memory seat right there on the side as well. And look at the pedals. Those are fancy looking. And we have all of our light controls here, and then you can see again with the soft touch on the dash and then down below. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you guys can see soft touch all around. We do have paddle shifters there on the back for the 8-speed automatic transmission. And we have stuff for our adaptive cruise control. We got voice command phone controls as well. And then you guys can see the stocks here on the back. And then we have the Mini Cooper's really cool looking digital gauge cluster here. It obviously is digital, but it does have kind of more of a retro feel to it. And when we put it in sport mode, notice how it kind of changes the kind of feel of the gauge cluster a little bit. Almost forgot, we also have a heads-up display here at the top, and then, by the way, the dash here is all soft touch. Now, in reverse, we do have trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, and you guys can see with the parking sensors front and rear, and good resolution with the camera system, by the way, so I think that's a big plus. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system itself, even though it looks weird because it's in this interesting unit, it functions like any other infotainment system, so touchscreen responds really well. And the cool thing is when you do certain functions like volume, it actually fills in around the infotainment system with that, so that's kind of another part of the fun. Then got our climate controls just down below, heated seats with this as well. And then I love the toggle switches here for different functions like the engine, stop, start. Now it's just stability control and then your sport mode as well. Then we got some cup holders here, shifter for the 8-speed automatic transmission, parking brake behind, and you can see for the infotainment system if you don't want to use the touchscreen. And then with the center console here, you basically just lift that up. Got storage underneath, nice little armrest here, and then I think, yeah, pretty normal glove box. And again, this trim on the dash, that looks cool. And then we do have a sunroof up top, and then more of those cool toggle switches. Now here's our window sticker for this Countryman. You guys can see base MSRP, and then we do have a few options added to this. Total MSRP after all options, $51,790. And let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors. Run through the rest of the rear. And I forgot to press the button. Let us set off in the John Cooper Works Countryman. I am super excited to do this review. A lot of you requested that I review the John Cooper Works version of the Countryman, and so guess what? Here we are. Now, also, apparently, the Countryman is getting reworked for the 2025 model year. If I'm not mistaken, I might be mistaken. Is the heat steering wheel on? No, it's not. You're just in the sun. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that's like, but I'd like this version a lot, to be frank, and we'll kind of talk about that during the driving. Also, this Clubman here with this like special edition package in the color, really cool looking. I'm learning more about minis, and the more I learn about the brand, the more I like it. It's a cool brand because it's, you know, a more bespoke brand, but it's not insanely expensive. And oh wow, this is on a whole nother level compared to that other Countryman I drove. I drove the iconic like middle of the line powertrain like last week, and yeah, right off the bat, this is quite a bit punchier. Ride quality is though really good. It's really good. It's one thing I do like about minis is they just drive well. Yeah, going over the bumps and everything, it's such a good daily driver, but it still has that lightweight, tossable feel that Mini is famous for. I think this $50,000 Mini Cooper might end up being my favorite SUV ever. Crossover, whatever you want to call it. It's quick! It is quick! And it's smooth too, like the transmission's really smooth. And the suspension, even the sport mode here. But it has such a lively feel to it at the same time. I am starting to understand the Mini Cooper charm. Gosh, it has so much torque. Yeah, it drives so well. I'm super impressed. Okay, so I am in the manual mode. Transmission snappy. I like the little, like, you get kind of little farts on upshifts. Yeah, this is for a 4-cylinder. This sounds really good. This is a special car. This is a special car. So yeah, I mean, we'll sum things up here with the Countryman now. So I think this thing looks great on the outside. I love the retro themed interior as well. And it's quick. It's super quick. Again, I have a 300 horsepower. And it just drives well. I think the best way for me to sum things up with this is my favorite SUV crossover little thing, whatever you want to call it, I don't know, I like this so much. If I was going to get any vehicle in this size segment, I understand that some people are like, but minis are expensive, and it's like, yeah, but you get a lot of really cool stuff for the money. So let me know what you guys think, but I think I have been converted to the mini brand.